The universe gives us wonderful treats sometimes, and it's just, when you've had a hard day, you just need to accept the wins when you get them. So the school year here has almost ended. The kids have got 2 days in school next week and tomorrow. And the last day, which is Friday next week, is just a singing in the playground and then a picnic and then home. So it's not really a school day. And particularly my youngest is really struggling because she'll be changing buildings, changing class, changing teachers, changing classroom. And it all feels like an enormous shift for her, and she really struggles with these transitions. And after about 3 or 4 weeks, she'll be fine, and I know she will. But I also know that those first 3 or 4 weeks are going to be really hard. Anyway, she hasn't wanted to go to school this week because she doesn't like endings. She doesn't like saying goodbye to anyone, ever. And being a therapist, I really value endings. I know the importance of them, how important it is to process the goodbye and to process the things you're going to miss, and to think about the things that you're looking forward to, that you're excited about. And so this time of year here in Sweden and in July in England is really important that we remember that our kids may be acting up because there's a big change coming. There's a big shift happening, and we need to honour that change because it's a big chapter for children. Each year that passes, it's a year for a child is a long time. And so when the change comes, it feels bigger. So it's about understanding that there will be more acting out. There may be more challenging behaviour this time of year and the beginning of the next school year. And that we can support that by helping our kids talk about what they're sad about, what they're going to miss. Here in Sweden, you can still go to the playgrounds when the schools are closed. So my daughter will be able to play in the playground she's been playing in for the last year. She will be able to revisit it. So there are some things she won't have to fully let go of yet, and she can take her friends there to play too. But my sense is that the idea that she can return will help her, and that she may not actually want to return because she'll feel like a bigger kid. She'll feel like the reception class is too small for her, the playground is too young for her when she gets used to her new space. But having that kind of transitional thought that she can carry with her, that she can hold with her, will help. And it's important for her to say goodbye to the teachers that she's really formed a strong attachment to, and to meet the new teachers, to know who they're going to be. Anyway, she told me to pick her up early because she normally stays half an hour after the end of school so she can play with her friends a bit longer. She told me to pick her up early today, and I turned up and she said, "No, Mama, go home. Come back in 10 minutes. So I've decided to give her the full half hour because I know that she doesn't really have a very good concept of the passage of time. So she won't notice if I come back more than 10 minutes later. So I'm walking around this forest that's just next to her school. And to me, this is an enormous win because that means that the day was okay, even though I had to battle her into school. And it broke my heart seeing how upset she was. But I knew that she needed to do today because they were visiting their new classrooms and visiting their new teachers and meeting their new teachers. So I knew how important it was that I managed to get her in today. But to have her say at the end of the day, "I want to stay longer," that's a win. And I'm going to take that because these last few days of term are not always easy. So I'm taking that win. And as parents, especially when our children are struggling with stuff, their hearts are connected to our hearts. I remember the first time I went for a run in the woods after my son was born, and I suddenly realised that never again was I going to feel like I was completely on my own. I would always have this kind of emotional heart attachment to him. And that freedom of being an individual person on my own was gone forever. And to some extent it'll come back bit by bit as they get older. But I know that worry for them, they'll always be my babies, and that worry about them will always be there to a greater or lesser extent. So there it is. When you're a parent and you worry about your kids, you've got to take the small wins when you can get them. Notice when things shift. Notice that a little comment, "Can I stay 10 minutes later?" is actually an enormous sign that things are okay again. And they may be angry with you when they finally get home and be horrible to you, but that's because they're cross with you for making them do something they didn't want to do. It doesn't mean it was a bad day. So this was a sign it was a good day, and I'm going to hold on to that, especially if behaviour gets bad again tomorrow. So good luck to all you parents who are approaching the end of a school year and the start of a new one. I'm with you in spirit, and we're all with each other in this as well. Have a good day.